Good morning, everybody. This is Travels with Dottie, and we have a pretty unhappy George sitting next to us because George is going to the vet for the big snip. Yeah, it's only a 1.3 mile journey, and George is not going to like it. And here's the last shot of George out in the truck before we go inside for the surgery. I really don't feel comfortable doing any filming inside the vet place. We'll see about that. I don't think so, though. All right, come on, George. I'm going to come get you. It's ready. Time to go. Okay, just a sneak peek of George in the exam room prior to surgery. He's looking okay. He's a little anxious, but not too bad. So if anybody's anxious, it's me, not George. I just dropped George off, and they're going to call me when the surgery's done. He's going to have to wear a little cone around his head for a few days. He's not going to be a happy camper, but they said no pain meds because he will not be in pain. He will be in some minor discomfort, and the cone is he's going to be wanting to lick the incision site, and that's not a good thing. And it's stressful for George, and it's stressful for Rob. No matter how minor something like this is, surgery is still surgery. They're going to call me as soon as it's done. And I can take him home right away, which is good. I'm looking forward to having him home. So I also decided to microchip George. At first it's $30. And at first I wasn't going to do it because, in all these years, George has never ventured outside. I mean, I sort of put him off the edge and down the steps once, and he scrambled right back up and just will not leave the threshold. I swear I could leave the RV door open and he'd stand at the threshold. I could leave. He would not leave. However, there are personality changes that are often associated with this procedure, with neutering. And one of it could be he could turn into a little bit of a wanderer. So for $30, I'm going to microchip him. I'm going to turn him in. I told him you're going to become a robo kitty. So this is all good stuff. The vet says George would be less aggressive, more loving, probably, healthier. There are types of cancer that having this procedure, neutering done, avoids. And I'm fully loaded with the medications to make his traveling okay. Not a painful experience. So I'm pretty excited about all that to make George's life more comfortable on the road with me. Somebody said in the comments, if you need to do the right thing and just give George away to someone. I'm like, it's my cat. It's my George. I suppose if he was truly suffering with the movements that I do, and really it was really horrific, I would consider that. But there's certainly remedies within our reach here. So I do like this vet. It was $395 for blood work, a couple of vaccinations, the chip, and the surgery. Sounds like a big number, but all that for a human being, it wouldn't be $395. It would be, $39,000 or something ridiculous. So another Another expense on the road, guys. But it's no different than being on the road versus in a stationary home. You're going to have the same vet bills. So this is not a nomad related expense, other than the little prescription maybe for the gabapentin. That was almost nothing. Because I need that for the motion sickness, and if you're at home and you don't travel, there's no motion sickness. So I will continue this when they call me, and I'll go get George, and we'll document the rest of the day with George's recovery. See you in a little bit. Well, I just got the call that George did just fine in surgery and to come pick him up. So that's what I'm on my way to do. After I dropped him off, I spent my time. I'm applying for licensure in Nevada. So I had to go to the office in the park, get a form printed out, fill out the form, go to the sheriff's office and have my fingerprints taken, and then go to the post office to purchase a money order and then mail all this off to the state. I was relieved to get the call to come pick him up, and I'll show you how he's doing pretty soon here. I was pretty comforted by the statistics available online and how this was super not invasive, and the odds of something going wrong are very, very, like something like 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000, something ridiculous like that. This procedure does not happen. We got a couple of vaccines, we got blood work. George is healthy. He's going to have a little cone around his little neck. I'm sure he's going to hate that. But we're almost to the vet now, and we will see him. And again, I'll make a judgment call on whether to film anything inside the vet office when I get in there to see how it feels, if it feels okay. But hopefully George will bounce back quickly and be a happier kitty. That's what I'm hoping for. And we have arrived at the vet. Guy behind me was not a big fan of how slow I was driving. I could tell with the gusto with which he departed. So I'm going to try to get into a space. The parking's a real problem at this vet. I need a space where I can get the cage in with a minimum of fuss. So George is as comfortable as possible. So there's George. So the vet said he's not looking very happy with me, and the tech said the same thing. And I said, actually, that's okay. That's just George. And he doesn't look, actually, you look a little sedated, George. And with this backlighting, I'm not sure you can see real well, but we'll get a better shot of him when we get home. We're going home now, George. So here's George. Get a little light on here, George. Hey, Georgie. Hi, kitty. So we had to take the collar off because he was really fighting the collar. He seems really sedated more, so I'm going to keep an eye on him. And if he starts going after the stitches, I'll put that collar back on him. We'll update you. Hey, George. How you feeling, kitty? How's the kitty doing? So here's George, and it's now 7:30 at night, and he just ate a bunch, didn't you, George? Kitty, you ate a bunch of food for dinner, didn't you? Seems to be feeling a lot better. Still a little lethargic, but it's a really good sign that George is eating. You feeling better, George? Kitty? He may still be a little pissed off at me. I'm not getting a lot of eye contact. George? George! Hey, over here. Hey, George! Kitty! Still will not look at me. Oh well. You see you're up and around. I noticed he was drinking water, which is a really good sign. And came out from hiding and doesn't look quite as pissed as he was yesterday. I don't think he's forgotten what's going on, though. Hey, do you, George? Kitty, hey. So the recovery is looking good, guys. Isn't it, George? I can tell you're feeling better. I can see it in your eyes, even though you still won't really look at me. All right, we'll check in a little later. I thought Dottie deserved a little screen time since all the attention's been on George. You doing okay, Dottie? You feeling neglected? It's a good girl. Well, this is going to be the final shot of George. He's getting so much back to his old self that, after 24 hours, that I think I'm going to finish the video here. And here he goes to his little nook behind the chair that he usually spends most of his day in. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you keep watching.